What's up, podcast? How are you guys doing? I am watching Survivor right now, so it's going to be a little cut in and out. I'm going to try to record a little bit during the commercials and then watch. So it's going to be a little disjointed, but I don't know. I'm not like crazy into the season. I think it's entertaining. I've enjoyed it so far, but it's just something to watch at this point. Like, I get home Wednesday. What do you do? I don't know. Throw in some Survivor, I guess. So it's been good. And I actually have not watched a live episode. I've only watched the first episode live. This is the first time since, I guess, 5-6 weeks that I'm actually watching it live. So, anyways, a couple baddies, but not as good as Kagayan. Kagayan is still like my season. And I think it's just because of you guys. It's because of the boys. Like, when we were watching it during COVID, that was, unbeatable. Who could top that? It was so much fun. So, anyways, talking about the league. Wow. A lot's happened since the last podcast. The last podcast was 2 weeks ago, right? I didn't post last week. I was busy. Halloween week. I was, getting my costume going and all that stuff. I did post like back-to-back episodes, though. I had one. And then I did another. I don't know. I was inspired. But anyways, so yeah, a lot's happened in the league since 2 weeks. It's kind of taken shape. The playoff picture is shaping up a little bit. Some teams are dropping out. Some teams are making a charge. And so it's really fun. So we'll just get right into it. All right, the first immunity challenge just finished. So I'm just going to grind until tribal council, because who cares what happens the rest of the time. So anyways, yeah, the big topic is the trades, Aaron's trades. I know he wanted to get on the podcast, but I'm not going to bother him right now. So let me just, how do I get here? Trade it? October, when did it all go down? We'll set the date to October 20th. Okay. Oh, let's set it to 19th. Okay, yeah, so it all went, what the heck, why is that coming up? It all went down starting Friday, October 20th, when Aaron and I had a 1-for-1 trade, Mark Andrews, Bijan Robinson. It kind of went unnoticed over the weekend. And then Monday morning, we completed the trade, Geno Smith for time. We'll talk about the, controversy later. But for now, then we completed the trade. Aaron gave me Geno, and I gave him Tyler Algier, and I promptly dropped Geno Smith. So Tuesday then, so that trade processed on Tuesday. And then Tuesday, Aaron just went off. He made 2 additional trades, trading away a total on Tuesday. Okay, for the weekend, trading away a total of 5 players on his team, 5 players off his roster. So, 1/3 of his roster suddenly done and dusted. So the other 2 trades were one with the Himsteaders. Alex gave up Joe Burrow and DK Metcalf. Aaron received, or the other way to say it is, Aaron received Joe Burrow and DK Metcalf from Alex and sent Calvin Ridley, Kyron Williams, Trevor Lawrence. So Kyron Williams obviously is like a long-term play for Alex because he's going to be out for a few weeks. He'll be back week 11, but based on what he did in the first 6 weeks, could be a very, very good trade. Alex gets Trevor Lawrence, who kind of similar, like, actually, I don't know. I guess I'm not a big fan of Trevor, but I'm not sure who said it in the chat, but someone said it well. It's kind of like pick your poison. Like, Burrow and Trevor Lawrence aren't like going crazy. Burrow's doing a lot better recently, but we'll see how he continues throughout the season. And then Calvin Ridley, kind of just like a hopeful prayer. Like, he started the season out like, well, like what was a preseason? It seemed like he was going to be unstoppable, and then week 1, 100 yards and a touchdown. It was like, oh, this guy's for real, and then he's been quiet ever since. And then to round out the day, no more than 17 minutes later, another trade was accepted where Aaron was going to send Drake London to Zach, who would receive or who would trade send to Aaron Michael Thomas. So kind of like bench player for bench player, which is, I feel like, the only trade that Zach does. I've never seen Zach do a trade, involving players. So anyways, big action right after I talked about it on the podcast. Like, I'm pretty sure I spent a good amount of time that episode, the weekend, so that would have been October like 15th or 16th. I talked a lot about trades and trade history, and fortune favors the trade. Fortune favors the brave, as Matt Damon would say. So so week one after the first trade, the Mark Andrews Bijan Robinson trade. Okay, so now we'll talk about the collusion or alleged collusion. Now, Freudian slip. I promise it's a Freudian slip. I will release the text messages if we need to. Okay, anyways, so let's review how it's played out for Aaron. So the first trade, Mark Andrews for Bijan Robinson and later Tyler Algier to give the Atlanta running back handcuff to Aaron, did not work out week one for him. He did claim that he would have won that week if he kept Mark Andrews on his team, which I don't know if that's true. I will check on that right now. That would have been week 7. 71.76, 99.54. How many points did Aaron's tight end get? Sam Laporta. So I don't think Aaron would have won if he had Mark Andrews because Mark Andrews got 18, so you can only add 13 on to the 71.76. Because unless he's saying that, if he had Mark Andrews, he would have played Mark Andrews and Sam Laporta and played Jordan Addison in the wide receiver 2 spot. But he had, and maybe that's what his claim was. But Bijan ended up getting 0.3 points that week. On the other hand of the spectrum, it worked out very well for me. I ended up beating Zach 127.76 to 114.46. With a lot of help from Mark Andrews. But I will go and say that I did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of my guys score over 10 points. So it was just a well-rounded week for me. And then take away 15 point some odd points. I think I would have lost a close one had I not made the trade. I don't think I was going to start. What's his name? Bijan. So, anyways, week 1 it didn't pan out for Aaron, and then the tradesters met back up in week 8. Me and Aaron played last week, and I lost in a close one. And Bijan was, a difference maker, 12.2 points, and my running backs did not do well. James Cook 7.3, Isaiah Pacheco 3.7, and I left Brian Robinson on the bench, who got 7.9. So Bijan absolutely would have made a difference that week. Sam Laporta outscored Mark Andrews, so I don't know how Aaron would have played that. I would have played Jonnu Smith, who would have gotten a whopping 1.3 points. So Aaron might have won, either which way. But, I kind of don't like to speculate after a trade's been made. I don't know why. It just seems pointless in a sense. So anyways, and then concerning the other teams, Alex lost week 8 and Zach lost week 8. So the trade kind of put some stank on him. But I can also take some responsibility for Alex's loss because I gave him number 1 in the power rankings, and we all know that number 1 in the power rankings is no good. You don't want to be there. You're cursing yourself unless you've been there multiple times before. You oft do not want to be there. You don't want to be in that position because it rarely bodes well. So yeah, we'll have to get Aaron on. I mean, at some point. Maybe over Thanksgiving or, season recap, we can talk about it and see what he was thinking and, look back moment. So sorry, Aaron, I didn't get you on. I'm just feeling lazy with it, so, Well, I don't know. I've got nothing to say. I'm sorry. Like I feel like I could easily call you right now, but like I said, I don't know. I'm just feeling lazy with it. So, I guess I'll just move on, and okay. So now this is where we'll talk about the quote unquote collusion that went down. So Friday. So me and Aaron, were texting, and we had been making a deal. We'd been shaking and baking. Like we'd been chatting and sending stuff. Um, like dang it. Stupid. Get out of here. So some of our conversation, if I can, expose us. I think Aaron, yeah, okay. So this was in response to a trade that I rejected. Aaron or mate, and then sent him like a bad one back probably. But Aaron on Wednesday, October 18th, was saying, who do you like the least of your four running backs? All working a tight end for him. And I was a little hesitant, but I said I'd lean towards Mark Andrews. And this was actually on the back of a trade that I rejected way too quickly. Like if we can just we'll air it out. Aaron sent me Kyron Williams and Sam Laporta for Bijan. That was the first trade. And I instantly rejected that trade. And I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I would have accepted that trade. Like that would have been a bloody steal, And I think it was the Kyron Williams. I didn't know how long he was going to be out for, so I just saw him offer me Kyron Williams, and I'm like, "What? This guy's offering me a guy that's going to be out for the rest of the season." I didn't really realize he's just he'd be back after his IR stint, and maybe he won't. So maybe it'll turn out for the good in the end. But I just rejected it so fast, and then I remember immediately thinking, "Man, I should not have rejected that so fast. I should have sat on it a little bit." And so we're chatting a little bit more. I bring up a three-way trade with Tristan where I get Jalen Waddle because I was, I still am. I'm hoping to get Waddle from Tristan. We're trying. He sent me something with Waddle earlier this week, but I just it was a trade that I almost would have done, but he sent me two players for. He sent me Jalen Waddle and another player for one of my players, and it was just I really don't need that second player. I just kind of want Jalen Waddle. So then I sent him one back that was, a little downgraded. Okay, maybe a lot downgraded. But I offered him Nico Collins for Jalen Waddle. Which, after week 4 would have looked excellent. Tristan probably would have taken that. But where we are right now in week 9, it's got to meet Halloween candy. It would not, that probably is not going to go over well, which it didn't. He rejected it. And then once you reject a trade and then say maybe I'm interested in this kind of that kind of puts you in a tough spot because I was trying to tiptoe my way back into getting Kyron Williams. Once I found out that he was, probably going to come back week 11, week 12. So then I sheepishly sent to Aaron, could Andrews and Kyron be a package deal? And he said possibly. So I sent it to him, but Aaron never ended up accepting it, which, is pretty understandable. Because I said, I think at that point, I don't think we could talk about getting into fleecing category. I don't think it would have been a fleece of Aaron, but there would have been fleece potential if I got Kyron Williams and Mark Andrews in a trade. So, and then I came up with this 3-way deal. Tristan receives Bijan, Aaron receives a quarterback, and I receive Waddle and Andrews, which obviously was very much favorable to me. But that wasn't going to work out. Yada, yada, yada. We talk a little bit more on Thursday. Then we talk about a straight up offer. Mark Andrews for Bijan. And then we kind of we bring up the topic of a 1-for-1 trade, like a 1 week only. Where did we bring that up? Yeah, during like a 1 week trade, and then, but I don't know. I mean, like it was brought up, but I genuinely think, like, I really didn't see any malice in it, just based on the way that the conversation was going. Like, I really thought, we were headed towards a deal, and like we would have made a deal eventually. And so Friday, we do it. We have the game Sunday, and then we talk. Like, Matthew sent a message about the trade on like Sunday morning, like, hey, did anyone see that trade? And then Monday, I was just a big fat idiot, and I was just like, yo, it was a 1-for-1, like 1 week trade. And then that, brought up this whole idea of collusion, and I really don't think there's much more to talk about it. Like, we kind of dispelled it, and then cooler heads prevailed. Like, the trade got finalized. Like, I sent Algier, and, we're not sending anyone back. And I just should have, like, I think it eventually would have come out, because I think people would have been like, why did Johnny get Geno Smith and trade Algier just to drop Geno Smith? Which is what Tristan said. And that's why I told on myself. So I guess it did happen in the end, but like, it still, I guess, would have come out that there was, some intent or some idea that what Aaron and I was going to do is just going to be this temporary deal. But anyways, it's kind of old, If it had been in the moment, the heat of the moment last, Monday when we were talking about it, then I think it would have been something more to talk about. But now that, like I said, cooler heads have prevailed. A couple weeks have gone, or like a week has gone by. Teams have, been established. Other trades have been made. There's really not much more to talk about. I just realized there's a fire alarm in my room. I think we just move on. So I kind of want to say that's going to be the last of what I say about that. That's that. Let me set a little timer here so I can watch Tribal Council. How long does Tribal take? Like 10 minutes? So I'll jump back on at 9:20. See what's happening. And yeah, let's just get into the rest of like how the league is shaping up. All right, so the rest of the league. So where we left off. Oh man, I don't know. I should have taken like a screenshot or something. So I don't really know where we left off. I guess I can look at the power rankings to give myself an idea of where we left off. So let's do that. Oh, I had another good segment that I was going to do. Crap. I got lazy again. I'll try to do it real quick live on the podcast. It will not be entertaining, so I'll just make it its own segment and kind of put it at the end. You guys can skip over it. So week 8, week 7. So week 6 would have been, okay, so I had given Connor number 1. He was the hottest team in the league. And he still is. Connor still is the hottest team in the league, 4 straight wins. And, goes back to, what was this dude complaining about with the rolling waivers? Look at what he's done for himself. He's popped off. And, I don't think the waivers have, like, revolutionized his team. But look at him. He's got Kareem Hunt, Kyle Pitts, Packers defense, Harrison Butker. Those don't really count. Jameson Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin, Jahan Dotson, and C.J. Stroud. Like, what do you need rolling waivers for, my guy? His team is just doing unbelievably well right now. Did I say 4 straight? I think that is true. Let me get it cooking here. So, if you ignore week 4, he's... Okay, well, don't ignore it. Let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's won 5 out of his last 6 games, which is super, super impressive. He... he's done very well for himself. And then I guess, what else did I want to say? Oh, yeah, I was just going to kind of go down the power rankings. Matt has been, still playing up there. I've still, got my name in the hat. Matthew still got his name in the hat. Luke still got his name in the hat. Aiden, 3-3 in week 6. He's about the same right now, 4-4. Alex made a mini charge, but he's cooled off. I only really say he's cooled off because he broke out 3 in a row and then just lost 1. And we can, talk about that real quick. Aaron, still struggling a bit, but with the trade making some moves. Tristan still struggling. Team's looking better, just can't win a game. And then Zach really still struggling. So yeah, okay. So what did I want to say about Alex? Oh yeah, I guess I wanted to say about the we can look at the playoff percentages, I suppose, and we can start at the bottom. They're giving Tristan a 2% chance to make the playoffs, and I just don't. I mean, the way that his team has been improving, it just seems so harsh. I guess it hasn't really been an improvement. Yeah, maybe it's for some reason felt like he's improved, but over the past 4 weeks, he's hit over 100 twice, but he has dropped his last 3 games. So he goes, plays Alex. He's got Connor. He's got Matt, he's got Luke, and he's got Zach. So I can see him winning, 2 of those games. I can see him beating Zach. I can see him beating Alex. Based on the way Connor's playing, it's probably a loss. Based on the way Matt's schedule playing this year, a loss. Based on the way Luke's team is shaping up, that's probably a loss. So I told him for the longest time, don't hit the panic button, don't give up. But, yeah, sorry, Tristan. It's sad, but it's probably not time to give up. But yeah, time to give up. He's probably done. I wouldn't blame him. Time to give up. So, not much else to be said there. Zach is given a 4% chance of making the playoff. Don't know if there's much for him in this league yet either. He's dropped the last 5 in a row. And he goes on to play Connor, Luke, Matthew, Aaron. So he could easily drop the next 3, and then he's in an even worse pit. I mean, he's in a pit now, but he'd be in a double deep, quadruple deep pit. These next 3 weeks are going to be tough for Zach. Very tough. You almost feel bad for the kid. Then he's got Aaron and Tristan. He might sneak a couple wins just to, end on a high note, but that's going to be the toilet bowl, week 13, Zach against Tristan. No one's going to want to watch that game. Aaron's given a 9% chance of making playoff. And of all the teams that are, that are down there, I think Aaron's put himself in the best position. He's, gone for broke. Like, he just traded away his whole team, and, it didn't work the first week, and now it's working. He's got to win. He goes to play Aiden, who's beatable. He goes to play Matthew. I don't know if there's any, much in it there. And then he's got me, then he's got Zach, then Alex. So he can win 3 out of those games, but unfortunately that would put him at 6 wins. So that'd be tough. So he needs to beat his expected win percentage. Like, he needs to win 4. I think that's the golden number. I think if you want to make the playoffs or you want to make the play-in game, you have to have 7 wins. Especially this year, it's probably going to be different. It's probably going to be harder. You're probably going to have 8 wins to make the playoffs, just the way that the top teams are kind of beating up on the bottom teams. And it's interesting the way that it's shaped out like that because of the, everyone plays someone new every week. And by this point, we would have recycled, division opponents by now. Like, someone would have double played, but we won't get into that until after week 9. Once week 9 rolls around, then we've got, the recycle. And me and Aaron are kind of on a quick turnaround here. We played in week 8. We come back. We play in week 11 again. So of all the teams that have a bad percentage, I think Aaron's probably, he's got the most hope just based on what he's done with his team. So next up, we've got Alex, also given a 9% chance. I think that the magic has run out for Alex. Like, he was, he had, 3 in a row. He was, playing a lot better. He scored that 110. He was close with a 100-point beat Aaron, which was a big win against it was like a relegation 6-pointer there. And then he just got stopped dead in his tracks. Like, beat up on him 126-5 to 86-03, 83-06. And you just can't help but feel that that's that. Yes, he's got Tristan this week. And so Toilet Bowl, one of those teams come away with a win, put a little smile on their face. But then he has to go, not saying that I'm like crazy good, but I feel like I've historically had Alex's number. And so he has to play me in week 10. Then he has to go play Connor, who's, obviously doing well. Then he has to play Matt, who's doing well. And then, that's a big matchup week 13. He's got Aaron. That could be a little bit of a play-in game decider, especially if I, go crazy sicko mode and decide to make it like 2 play-in games. So like 6 people make the playoffs. I'm leaning towards not doing that right now, which is kind of a bummer, kind of sad for all these teams down here, like, and which makes me think maybe I should, because the playoff picture is it's kind of closing up. Like, we kind of almost know who's going to make the playoffs, and we're only in week 8. We're going into week 9. Not saying that's definitive. One of us 5-3 teams could easily drop off. I think it's a lot easier to lose in fantasy than it is to win. So I think it's a lot more likely that one, me, Matthew, Connor, or Matt goes on and loses the next 5 games, opening the door for, Alex or Aiden or Aaron. I don't think that's crazy. I think it's, within the realm of possibility, because injury bugs, bye weeks, they're all gonna start playing. But so I think it's still open, but I do this year it is kind of shining a little bit of light on, like, hey, that 5-person playoff is not looking great. And I think maybe it worked better with divisions, and maybe without divisions we need to do a 6-person playoff, but we'll let it shake out. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to try to change the rules right now. We'll see how it plays out throughout the end of the season. But anyways, yeah, I think Alex wins 2 of his last 3 games. If he gets a 3rd win out of there, great. But to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 out of his last 5, that's going to be really tough for his team and his roster. It's going to be really, really tough. Breece Hall, Darrell Henderson, Marquise Brown, Jackson Smith, Jerome Ford. Justin Jefferson's on IR, and then his quarterback is Dunzo. Amon-Ra's good. Miles Sanders has been mid. No, Miles Sanders has been terrible, actually. He's got Kyron Williams to look forward to. He's got Devon A-Chain to look forward to. So there's hope, I guess. There's hope, but when's Devon A-Chain projected to come back? Does anyone know? Says, so he stopped playing week 5. So he could come back, quote, this week, but it clearly looks like they're not activating him this week. So he'd come back week 11. So, yeah, and then I don't know when Jefferson's coming back off IR. He stopped playing week 5 as well. So he could come back this week, but clearly is not coming back. So he comes back week 10. And then Kyron Williams not coming back till week 11. So Alex wouldn't be back till full strength until week 11. Let's just say that he wins out from week 11. That gives him 3 straight wins. It still wouldn't be enough. That'd be 6 wins, which I don't think you can get into the playoffs, into a 5-person playoff with a losing record. So kind of the end of the road there for Alex. And then Aiden's given a bang 50% chance. He's got a 4-4 record. I think it's very fair. Like, I would agree. I think it's a coin flip if Aiden makes the playoffs or not. He started the season hot, 3-1. He's won 1 out of his last 4. And that was most recently against Zach, which turns out isn't really saying much. No offense to Zach. But he goes on and has a couple, actually has a really tough schedule to end the season. Big honk of the horn. I wonder if I accidentally scheduled these games wrong. Like, I thought I knew what I was doing, but now that I'm looking at these schedules to end the season, I'm like, hey, did I do that right? So let's see. Schedule sheet. Oh, shit. What did I base it on? That wasn't it. What did I base it on? I think I did schedule one. Cause, shoot. I would really wish I would have put like a star next to what schedule I chose. I paste that there. So let's just, for kicks and gigs. Oh crap. Insert column left, please. Thank you. Control V. Okay, Matthew plays the number 2 ranked team, which is Aaron. Number 3 ranked team, which is Zach. Number 4 ranked team, which is me. Then the number 5 ranked team, which is Luke. Is that what Matthew finishes the season with? Spots for a golden crown. That is exactly how it finishes. Wow. Okay. Aiden got the 4th ranked team, which is me. The 5th ranked team, which is Luke. That's tough luck for sure. But then he got the 9th ranked team, which is Connor, and the 10th ranked team, which is Matt. Okay. So yeah, it's just the way that it's shaken out. The way that the teams are shaken out, I suppose, is put some of these guys at a disadvantage because Aiden's got a tough end to the schedule. He plays the top 4 teams right now. Or 4 out of the top 5 teams. So I guess where's Matt sitting? Is he number 5? Yeah, he's number 5. So he plays the 4 out of the top 5 teams. That is tough. So Aiden might not be a coin flip. He might be donezo. He might be out. Jeez. And he's looking at 6. So yeah, the playoff picture. Oh. Obviously, I don't think Aiden's going to lose out, but I don't think he's got a chance. I mean, okay, he has to win 3. He has to win 3 games. So he has to beat, out of these teams, Aaron, Matt, Luke, Connor, Johnny. Who's he beating? I guess in my bias, my own personal bias, I say he beats Aaron, Matt, and Connor. And that's my bias and, just league history coming into play. I'm not saying, I don't know what I'm saying, but if he beats those teams, that's a good look for him because it takes, he's got to be, must wins, 2 must wins in a row. He has to be Aaron. He has to be Matt. If he does that, he puts himself in a very good situation because at best that would make Matt 6-4. That would knock Aaron out of the playoffs, almost guaranteed. Aaron would not have a sniff at the playoffs. If Aiden, that might be true. If Aiden beats Aaron this week, Aaron is done. Wow. I think that's probably true. If Aiden beats Aaron this week, Aaron is probably done. And then if he goes on and beats Matt and Aiden would kind of, I think, battle it out for that last play-in game spot. And then he could cruise if he wins the next 2. But then if he wins the next 2, he's only 6 wins. He could still finish with a losing record. So maybe Aaron wouldn't be out. Fascinating. Okay. I'm gabbing too much here. Let's just keep moving. Matt is given a 60% chance. We kind of just talked about that. I think Matt's kind of a coin flip too. He's been a little hot cold. Obviously it's easy to say that because week 5 he goes win, then loss, then win, then loss. So it's really just how you frame it. Because if you look, if you go, over the past 5 weeks, you can say he's won 3 out of the last 2. Or you can just say, over the past 3 weeks, he's won 1 out of 2. He's 1 for 2. But he's got a, relatively favorable schedule. He has to go play Matthew this week, which, could be a ding on his schedule. But then he's got 3 guys right in a row that he can beat. He can beat Aiden, Tristan, and Alex. That would put him at 8 wins, and I would lock him in. If Matt wins those 3 games in a row, I think he's in no matter what happens week 13. Which is probably why they're giving a 60% chance. Connor's only given a 52%, so Connor's only given just a little bit better chance than Aiden is. Let's see who Connor has to play. He's got Zach, Tristan. Oh, Connor's in the playoffs. If Connor doesn't have a little cheeky 8-win streak right here, then what's he doing? He plays Zach, 2-6 team, Tristan, 2-6 team, Alex, 3-5, Aiden, 4-4. So it's up to Connor. It's in his hands. He's written his own path right now. It's all up to him. He's just got to finish out. Next up, Matthew is given a 65% chance to make the playoff. Sorry, trying to navigate to a schedule. And yeah, I would give him 65% chance too. I mean, who's he lost to so far this year? He's lost to me, Aiden, Luke. I mean, he's taking care of business when he's needed to, and I don't see him not doing that the rest of the year. Like this week, the Battle of the Mats, that'll be a good matchup. And it'll be a good matchup. Like it'll tell a lot. It'll either really satisfy Matthew and kind of put him in the driver's seat, or I think this is almost not like it's a win neutral for Matthew. Like if he loses to Matt, oh, there's Survivor. All right. I gotta check on Survivor. La-di-da. Hold on. Oh. Are they at Tribal yet? Drum roll. Oh, they are. Dang. All right, I'll be right back. What, they voted already? There's 10 minutes left. All right, not gonna lie, fellas. I probably should have been watching Survivor. Some stuff just went down. Caleb blew a shot in dark. I don't understand what a shot in the dark really is, but everyone voted for Caleb. I don't know why. And Jay got voted out, who I'm not really gonna miss, but it seemed dramatic. Seemed very dramatic. Emily just got thrown something. What did she get thrown? A buff, I'm guessing. I don't understand. I really don't understand what just happened. Probably should have been watching. Anyways, I left off at Matthew, Battle of the Mats. Then he goes on and takes on Aaron, Zach, me, and Luke. God, week 12 and 13 are big for Matthew. That's an exciting end to the season. 12 and 13. I mean, if Matthew takes care of business, like he's been doing, like I said he's been doing, then 12 and 13 are just jostling for position. He'll be in. It's just, is he going to be 1, 2, or 3? I think. Because that'll put him at 1, 2, 3. That'll put him at 8 wins. I think 8 wins is... Actually, that's a great question. Is 8 wins enough to secure... automatic bid? It might not be. League's really tight this year. So at the top, there's an expanse between the top and the bottom, which is interesting. I think with the divisions, it's been very, easy to cut out that expanse. Like there's, jostling within your division. And so it feels a lot closer, but there's just, there's the haves and the have-nots this year, it really seems. And then if we kind of breeze through the rest, then we got me at number 2. I mean, I'm never going to say my schedule's easy. I'm always going to be nervous on my schedule. I've got Luke, difficult opponent. I've got Alex. I've got Aaron. I've got Matthew and Aiden. So theoretically, I should be able, if I saw this schedule for, let's say, Luke, if you switch me, put Luke's team in here, I say Luke beats Alex, Aaron, and Aiden and makes the playoffs. But with me at the helm, I mean, it's me. Like, I'm nervous. Like, I'm not just gonna come out and be what's the word? Huh. Like, I'll just throw in hubris. Not gonna have, not gonna be hubristic and say that I'm hot shit, and I'm gonna be able to, sweep aside Alex, Aaron, and Aiden. It's 3 teams vying for the playoffs. Like, I can't just fall asleep on those guys. If it was, Tristan and Zach in there, then yeah, maybe I'd say that I can walk through. But it's playoff contending teams. Every single team that I'm playing here on out is going for a spot in the playoffs, and so I got to be ready. I got to be ready for that. So I'm nervous about the end of my schedule. And then if we look at Luke's schedule, which we've basically talked about, and shout out, by the way, for a name change. Always appreciate a name change. Luke was, I'll have to document that. Didn't document that yet. Sorry about that, Luke. I did not make that in my week 9 power rankings. That's on me. I got to be better than that. So let's get that down there. He's now the Montucky Cold Snacks. Montucky Cold Snacks. It's going over my head a bit. I have to tell me about it. Okay, Luke's looking pretty settled in. I mean, he's obviously got me and Matthew. We already talked about that already to wrap up the season. But Zach, Aiden, Tristan. I mean, that's light work for Luke. That is light work. So if he beats me, I can see him, a 7-game win streak. He's got Matthew to finish the season, rivalry game. And I mean, he's in. If he wins these next 4, he's in. Even if he loses to me, it's gonna be tough. No offense to these guys, Zach, Aiden, and Tristan, but it's gonna be tough to drop a lot of points there. So they've given him an 82% chance. They've given him an 82% chance to win. To make the playoffs. And then just to wrap up, I don't think that was probably the best segment in the world, but just had to talk about where the league's at and what we're looking at. It's a little bit of a time capsule. So we're looking at Luke is projected number 1, Matthew's projected number 2, I'm projected number 3, Matt's number 4, Connor projected number 5. We got Aiden projected 6, Alex projected 7, Aaron projected 8, Zach 9, Tristan 10. So that's where it's looking. Again, Blue Bloods hanging out at the top. Again, like I don't know. I mean, the Blue Bloods have kind of had their way with this, and so I think it's going to be up to the the rest of the league to come out and if you guys don't like this format, let us know. Because right now, me, Luke, and Matthew, we're loving this format. Give us everyone in the league. Give us the easy teams. We'll take care of them. There was the Dwight Army champions. Actually, like looking back on it, the Dwight Army champions really made a man out of you. If you could make it on the Dwight Army champions, you could make it anywhere, and that's not easy to say. Like, and I mean it goes back. Like, look at Matthew. Look at what he was able to do in the Loser Slack Offs like Gym. He won a bunch. Look at what I was able to do in the Loser Slack Offs like Gym. 11 wins. So when you're in that Dwight Armour, that was not an easy division. That was not an easy time to be a fantasy football player. It was grind. So, and that's kind of what we're getting back to in these last 4 games of the week. That's probably why I'm so nervous about my schedule, is because it's back to like a performance-based schedule with the last 4. That's what it was. It was last year's performance. So, anyways, that was a bit braggy. But rest of the league, drop a comment. If you feel disrespected, drop a comment. Let me know. All right, so this last segment was going to be a little kind of like a pat on the back segment, because I kind of was looking at my team and I was just looking at my starting lineup thinking like, I kind of got something cooking here. Like the numbers that I was seeing are just super low. And these numbers I'm talking about are the position rankings. And so I wanted to see like who's got the best average position ranking, and I kind of thought it was going to be me, and I was close, but I wasn't exactly right. And it's maybe not the best metric. And I might be able to fix that by doing a little sorting here, which I should have done this before, but well. We'll talk about it real quick first, and then I'll go through and sort. So the team that ended up having the best average position ranking, according to this Google thing, Google Sheets, which got to be able to trust Google Sheets. H31. Why did I do H31? I think I meant to do 20. So what if I get rid of that 20? Yeah, no, it's the same. Which makes sense. Wouldn't make sense to be any other way. Okay. So the team that's got the best is Aaron. He's got an average position ranking across all positions, 19.43. So basically what I did was just in a Google spreadsheet, put everyone's position ranking down. So starting from your, just going straight up one for one, cell to position. So example, Aaron's in column Aaron's in column H. His starting cell is 5, so H5 is his quarterback, who is, give me a moment, Joe Burrow. Right? Right. And then I went down the line, and I included everyone's bench, so maybe we should disclude the bench. I don't know. Should we just do starting lineup? Should we just do, average position ranking of players who have started the most on the team? I don't know. I feel like there's definitely a metric that you could get in here. But I feel like you would get too deep in the weeds to just go, yeah. Whoever, starts the highest ranked players week in, week out is going to have the, best records, whatever. I'm sure you can get really, like I said, you can probably get really deep into it and come up with some fancy metric, but it's just not worth the time. Just look at the records, look at the points for. That'll tell you who's got the best team in reality. So, like I said, that it was supposed to be kind of a pat on the back segment. I was kind of going to pat myself on the back, and then I got shown up. Aaron beat me out, so he's got an average position ranking of 19.4, and I was shocked. I was shocked to see that. I came in second with 20.25. Then came Aiden, 21.13. So obviously I did the whole team. I did the whole bench. A couple guys, have the chance to kind of kill you. Like Matthew's got an 81. Luke's got a 50 and a 56, sitting on his bench. Heck, who is this? Connor's got a 112 sitting on his bench. There's going to be some guys that, just kind of kill you and totally mess up the rating. And so maybe we do like a median or whatever. But like I said, that's why I think I'm going to sort it and just see maybe who's got the most top 10 position rankings. So we'll come back to that. But anyways, top 3 so far were Aaron, me, Aiden. Then comes Luke with a 22.7. Then Alex with a 22.9. Oh, sorry. Aaron, me, Aiden, then Zach with a 22.4. Then Luke with his 22.7. Then Alex 22.9. And then Tristan 23.6. And then Matthew 23.9. Then we've got Connor 28.75. Then Matt 29.75. So I think it's not really telling me much, because I know Matthew and Matt are pretty loyal to their draftees and to their boys and to the guys that they know. And so they don't mind having, some lower position ranked guys, because they're their guys. They believe in them and they picked them up for a reason, or they've got them on the team for a reason, so they can keep them there. Whereas me and Tristan and maybe, I don't know, Zach, were kind of impulsive, and we see a guy on the waivers who got a good position rank, we just go snatch him, because we just feel the potential is there, and if the boom, if they boom, then we look genius. If they don't boom, who cares? We drop and get the next guy. So I think it does. It maybe the numbers kind of, I think, reflect our behavior a little bit of pickups and drops and all that stuff. But I was just a little surprised to come out come out second, because based on the way that my teams look, and I'll tell you a little bit, and we can maybe show you in a second here why. Let me just try to sort it. I forget how to do it. I wish I Google Sheets. Is it not format? Format? No, data. Okay, well, let's go A to Z. This will be really interesting. Have some patience with me, please. A to Z. Let me just paint format. Right? That should work. Nope, didn't work. Because it's data, it's not a format. Damn it. A to Z. Oh, the averages are getting messed up. Let me just delete that then. Get that outage. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was way more than I bargained for. Format, data, sort range. I think I did sheet last time. Podcasting. Hope everyone's week is going well. My week's been all right so far. Been really busy. I was kind of hoping to have an easy week, more or less. Not easy, but just like kind of relaxing, because I went pretty hard last week in my like Halloween costume. Like I didn't like really like go crazy, but I bought a costume a couple weeks ago. It didn't really work out. I didn't really like the coloring and all that stuff, so I ended up returning it, and then I had to make my last second adjustment, and I was kind of scrambling to get it all together, and I wanted to not spend as much money as I could, so I was kind of doing my research and all that stuff, and going multiple places to try to get the best deals and all that. Speaking of, like, I've not been able to stop talking about this deal. Like, I went to Sierra Trading Post, got these really nice Timberland boots for pretty cheap, so I was really happy with that. And then I got some pretty cool Reebok shoes, like kind of retro-y looking, and really happy. Only $20, and maybe they're knockoffs. I got them at Burlington Coat Factory. I don't know, but they say Reebok on them, so I was just like, oh, cool, Reebok. So, okay. So now this is what I wanted to do. It's kind of showing the story a little bit of, what I was thinking. So now we're doing number of top 10 players, and I could do a little algorithm, but I'll just figure it out for myself right here. So Matthew, for example, his average position ranking is 23.9, right? He's got five players on his team that are position ranked top 10 or above. Luke has 5 players in the top 10. Matt also has 5 players. Connor, meanwhile, only has 3 players. 3 players with a position ranking in the top 10. I have, and this is where I'm kind of patting myself on the back a little bit. I have I've got 8 players, top 10 or better. Alex has 6. Aiden has 6. Alex has 4. Aaron's now got a cheeky 5. Tristan's actually got 5 as well. And Zach has 5 too. So 5 seems to be pretty typical. And then where the boys are being separated from the men, I don't really know, because Tristan goes on and has 1, 2, 3, 4 players in the top 20. I mean, Matthew has 1, 2, 3 players in the top 20. Luke's got 1, 2, 3 players in the top 20. So I don't know. It just comes down. I think it's really like, it's not about the rank. It's about how you use it. That's really what it's seeming like, because based on this metric, Luke should be like a mid-tier team. And look at him. He's 6-2. He's got some of the best points for in the league. And I mean, yeah, you could argue he's got a bit of a easy schedule so far. His points against is rather favorable, I think. Yeah, he's got the lowest points against. But again, like, the league is just so tight. The highest points, so he's 681. The highest points against is 829. And if we go back to 2021, like, I'm sure that would have been like a 300 point spread rather than a, what is that, 160 point spread. So, or 150 point spread. So I feel like I can't really detract him for having the easiest points again in a league where it's really, really tight knit stuff. So yeah, I guess I'm just having a tough time separating where's the men from the boys. But anyways, I just felt like I kept looking at my position rankings going, man, like, how do I have all these top 10 dudes? And I just, some of them are draft, some of them are trade, and got a couple good pickups. And then I've got, so for me, I've got, shoot, don't give me the sum, give me the count. I've got 11 players in the top 20. Connor has 9. Roscoe has 7. We already said for Luke it was only 8. Zach's got 8. Tristan has a bunch. He's got 9. Aaron's got a bunch. He's got 10. Alex has a bunch, 10. Aiden's got 10. So I don't know. It's tough. It's got to just come down to, again, it's where you use it, how to use it best. So, because I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to say, like, is it the draft? Like, what matters more, the draft or the waiver pickups? And so right now, early, I guess, seems like the waiver pickups. But even, I mean, it's everything. It's everything. It's a little piece of pie. I think that's what makes fantasy fun, is like you really have to be good across the board. You have to draft well. You have to make your waiver pickups well. And you have to, at the end of the day, play the right players on your team. So, anyways, I thought that was going to be a little bit more interesting, but it was not. So, thank you all for listening this week. Hopefully I have some guests on coming up here soon. And we'll see you when you're older. Don't forget to hashtag it.